Over the last decades, China has emerged as an undeniable global power in infrastructure, achieving feats once believed impossible. Among its most remarkable accomplishments stand its gigantic megabridges, which have captured the attention even of the President of the United States, who has expressed his amazement at the spectacular progress of the Asian giant. But what makes these megabridges so extraordinary? Why are they causing such international impact? In this video, I will show you the 8 most impressive Chinese megabridges that have surpassed the boundaries of engineering. Structures so advanced they seem taken from science fiction, but they are completely real. I'll tell you now that when you reach number 1, you will understand why the entire world is talking about these marvels of Chinese engineering. Number 8, the road to the sky. A highway that climbs 2,600 m into the clouds seemed impossible until China built it. The Western Sky Road is not just a road. It is an epic conquest in the most hostile geography. The Jiaxi Road stretches for 240 kilometers across colossal mountains, mighty rivers, and rugged terrain, rising from 600 to 3,200 m above sea level. That means an average of more than 7 m of elevation per kilometer. Built between 2007 and 2012 with a cost of $10 billion, this mega highway employs countless structures, dozens of bridges, tunnels, and viaducts that literally carve the mountains. But here's the crown jewel, the Ganhisi Bridge, a structure 1,800 m long that looks like a colossal roller coaster placed at 2,500 m altitude. It is the first bridge of interlaced, reinforced concrete beams in the world. And as if that weren't enough, on the same road we find the Bananyang Bridge, known as the tallest bridge on the planet with 565 m from the ground to its highest point. It's as if they had built a skyscraper laid down across a valley. This road is the ultimate proof that when China sets out to connect 2 points, no mountains, valleys, or abysses stand in the way. They literally built a road to the sky. Number 7, the Endless Bridge. $20 billion and nearly a decade of construction for a single project. The Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge is simply monumental. 55 kilometers of span connecting 3 regions through a system of bridges and underwater tunnels. This titanic work took nearly 10 years to complete, from 2009 to 2018, with a cost of $20 billion. It is one of the most expensive projects in Chinese history. But the results are extraordinary. It reduced the travel time between Hong Kong and Macau from 3 hours to barely 30 minutes. But the real brilliance is in its design. The structure is divided into 3 parts: a main bridge offshore, an underwater tunnel, and linking bridges. Why this complexity? Because the Chinese considered absolutely everything: typhoons, tsunamis, earthquakes, and even ship impacts up to 300,000 tons. This bridge is not just a work of engineering. It is a declaration of intent. China proved it can connect what once seemed impossible to link, creating a highway over the sea that withstands the most destructive forces of nature. Number 6, the Celestial Bridge. Building a bridge that literally disappears into the clouds was not only a technical challenge, it was nearly unattainable. The Celestial Bridge, located in Guizhou province, is a masterpiece spanning more than 2,100 m across a deep valley. Built between 2016 and 2019, this bridge consists of 3 enormous towers, the tallest of which is 30 m higher than the Eiffel Tower at 330 m tall. The multitude of cable stays creates a stunning visual spectacle stretching toward the horizon. And do you know what the most fascinating detail is? Its nickname is no accident. The bridge is called celestial because of its extraordinary height. Clouds often engulf it, creating the illusion that it vanishes into the sky. With a cost of $215 million, this investment has radically transformed the region. It has significantly improved traffic efficiency, greatly reducing poverty in neighboring provinces by connecting previously isolated regions. Can you imagine driving across a bridge that literally disappears into the clouds? It's like driving straight into the sky itself. Number 5, the levitating bridge supported by a single 150 m tower and floating 300 m over an abyss. The Luqiang Bridge, located in Yunnan province, is an engineering feat that literally appears to be hovering over a mountain abyss. This giant of steel and concrete, nearly 800 m long, is suspended more than 300 m above a dizzying cliff. But how do they achieve this levitation effect? The answer lies in its ingenious construction. A massive 150 m tower supports the entire roadway using steel cables with only 2 anchor points at the edges of the valley. Built between 2019 and 2022, this bridge literally cuts to the mountain with tunnels, creating a connection that drastically shortens travel time in the region. With its 2 lanes and 4 tracks, it is a vital artery for local traffic. But here comes the warning. This engineering marvel is not suitable for drivers with vertigo. Driving across it requires real courage, or at least the ability to resist looking down at the void. Would you dare to drive along a highway that seems to float in the air? The Chinese prove that when it comes to linking communities, no natural obstacle stands in their way. Number 4, the Knot Bridge. An interchange with 5 levels and 20 different routes sounds like a traffic nightmare made real. The Cananchen Interchange, nicknamed the Knot Bridge, is the most complex overpass you will ever see. Located in Chongqing, this monstrous work of engineering took 8 years to complete, from 2009 to 2017. Why so long? Because it has a colossal structure 37 m high with 5 levels, 20 separate routes, and 3 expressways running through it. With a cost of $230 million, thousands of vehicles pass daily through this labyrinthine structure. But here's the amazing part. Despite its apparent complexity, officials claim navigating it is actually quite simple. Of course, only if you understand Chinese to read the road signs. Otherwise, you can spend the whole day circling around. It is like a gigantic three-dimensional puzzle, where every piece is a roadway. Can you imagine using GPS here? It would probably go crazy trying to calculate the route. The Chinese turn a highway interchange into a modern work of art that defies conventional logic. Number 3, the Desert Bridge. 13 million plants as a shield against the most devastating sandstorms on Earth. Here the Chinese built something many considered impossible, a railway bridge defying constant sandstorms. The Desert Bridge is part of the Hotan Railway, a monumental project that includes 5 elevated bridges on 434 prefabricated pillars, spanning nearly 50 kilometers of harsh desert geography. But the Chinese didn't stop there. To combat the destructive sandstorms that could bury the tracks, they planted 13 million plants around the structure, creating a natural barrier against the elements. It's as if they turned the desert into a railway garden. Construction began in 2018, and the 825 kilometers route was inaugurated in 2022. It now forms part of a circular route of more than 2,700 kilometers that completely surrounds the desert, allowing trains to run at speeds up to 120 kilometers per hour. Can you imagine seeing a high-speed train emerging like a mirage in the middle of the desert? The Chinese made it real, defying one of the most hostile environments on the planet. Number 2, the Dragon Bridge. A 3-story road that winds over a mountain following the shape of a giant dragon. The Dragon Bridge, located on Tianlong Mountain, is undoubtedly a masterpiece of engineering creativity. This spectacular 3-level roadway winds across the mountain with a slope of 350 m, using 7,000 tons of steel and thousands of tons of cement. But here comes the truly impressive part. How long do you think it took them to build it? Chinese engineers completed this architectural wonder in just 1 year. They began work in March 2018 and inaugurated it in May 2019. To put it in perspective, some cities take longer to repair a pothole than China took to build a 3-story bridge over a mountain. The design is no coincidence. The Chinese built it following the form of a giant dragon lying over the mountain, connecting lowlands with high-altitude regions, a much more economical solution than drilling tunnels through the entire mountain chain. Can you imagine driving across this structure? It is literally like riding on the back of a steel dragon. Number 1, the Ferris Wheel Bridge. Combining a functional bridge with a 120 m Ferris wheel sounded like a crazy idea. In Tianjin, we find something completely unique in the world, a bridge that is also a giant Ferris wheel. The Ferris Wheel Bridge is not famous for its conventional architecture, but for being the base of the Tianjin Eye, an imposing 120 m tall Ferris wheel. This structure combines functionality and innovation in an extraordinary way. The wheel carries up to 768 passengers per hour in its 48 cabins, completing a rotation every 30 minutes. But here is the fascinating detail. Visitors can enjoy panoramic views while below. Traffic flows normally across the bridge. Construction began in 2007 and was finished that same year. But the wheel didn't open until 2008. Why? Because the Chinese carried out exhaustive safety tests to ensure the wheel would not roll away. Imagine the headline: giant Ferris wheel rolls through the streets of Tianjin every night. The bridge transforms into a neon light show reflecting on the high river, creating a magical image that attracts tourists and locals alike. It is the perfect fusion of practical infrastructure and urban entertainment. Who else but China would think of combining a bridge with a giant Ferris wheel? We have explored 8 wonders of engineering that prove why China has become the undeniable world leader in infrastructure. From bridges that look like toys to highways that touch the clouds, every structure challenges what we thought possible. Which of these mega bridges impressed you the most? Would you dare to drive across any of them? Leave in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.